Now, in yesterday's episode, we had received that package in the mail, which, among other things, contained the Iwata airbrush cleaner. And some of you are probably wondering, why did I not put these parts into the airbrush cleaner instead of the jar of isopropyl alcohol like I normally do? Well, I was in a hurry. Now I got a little bit more time here. This piece here, I pulled all these four pieces just out of the isopropyl right now. That's why it's wet here. But this piece here still has paint, dried paint, on the inside. And what I want to do is I want to put it in the airbrush cleaner, in the ultrasonic cleaner, and see, will it on its own get this gray paint there? There's just a very thin layer of it. I could see it. I always have to take a Q-tip or cotton swab, whatever you call it, wherever you live, and go around the inside of that just to swab out the excess. The isopropyl never seems to completely remove it, no matter how long it soaks in there. And I'm not going to be soaking it in Windex, although I'm sure the Windex would probably work better. Now, yeah, so this is going to be the very first time I'm trying this. We'll just see how it works here. I'm not going to put the airbrush itself in the ultrasonic cleaner. I've heard that it can help to remove the chrome finish off of the brass. So anyway, and this cleans up pretty easy anyway. So, well, it says keep out of the reach of children. Yeah, it doesn't say anything on here that I can see, though, that says you can't use it in an ultrasonic cleaner, nor does it say anywhere about it being explosive, so I don't need to worry about the cavitation that's going on in there causing some kind of an explosion. Okay. Oh, well, that's one thing that I've noticed is bad about it. It's very easy to accidentally turn it on when you accidentally grab a hold of it in the wrong place. All right, now on the side here, there's a couple of lines, and you're supposed to fill it up. I've tried it out with water about a week ago when it first came, but this is actually the first time I'm using it practically. Okay, so we fill it up between the maximum and the minimum, which is right there. Okay, we'll put in our little parts. And this is the one that we're going to check later and see if that gray paint has been removed. Well, maybe we'll leave the lid off at first just to see if we can see anything happening in there. Now, I did not realize that this ultrasonic cleaner was having the same effect as the other one did, because this one is so much smaller and it seemed to be so much quieter. However, it was really throwing the microphones in my camera for a loop. So I got to tell you what I was saying there. And what I was saying was that it appeared like there was smoke coming up off of those little pieces. In other words, the paint was dissolving. Maybe someday I'll be able to stick the macro lens on and I'll show you. It was actually kind of interesting. Okay, here's the little part in question. It looks pretty shiny. I'll put the macro lens on. We'll have a nice close look at it. Okay, my plan here is to try and hold this down and not move it. And then we're going to take a pristine Q-tip that's never been used and just go around the inside and see, can we see anything coming on the Q-tip here. I'm not seeing anything, and this little part did look perfectly clean and shiny before I started with the Q-tip. So yeah, offhand I'd say that worked, because just using the isopropyl in the past I used to always have to take a Q-tip and go along the inside like this, and then there was always very noticeable gray or whatever color paint on the end of it, so yeah, it works. Now, what about this part here? Get this out of the way. Now, was it able to get up into the nozzle there? I can't really show you that, but I should be able to look down through it and see if I can see through it. Okay, when I tried to look down through it, I couldn't because it has still got the cleaning fluid in there. So let's just take this and we'll go in. Does appear to be something on the tip. No, it is possible that the ultrasonic will not work inside a hole that small. I don't know. But it sure did good on this part here. Now about this test we did. Seems to be alright. I can move in just a little bit here, but I don't think we need to put on the macro lens because if we do, it's not going to look good. That's just all there is to it. I think I might have put the third coat on too heavy. Probably 2 coats would have been just fine the way I was doing it. I'm going to do my best to try and show these little boxes getting sprayed the lighter gray. You may not notice these ones because the difference between this gray and the light gray is not a whole lot. The other ones you should be able to see what's happening. I'm going to do my best to try and keep this whole thing in your field of view. We'll just have to see how it goes here, folks. If it doesn't work out, well, that's the way it goes. Well, here's what happened. By the way, it's still yesterday. That spraying you saw me doing, I was actually doing it while yesterday's episode was uploading to YouTube. Anyway, while I was turning this around, this thing here was ready for me to use, and I guess the toothbrush was sticking out of here, and I caught this jar and I tipped it completely over. Now what you're seeing in there, it looks like, what you've always seen, but that's not. That came out of this one here. Anyway, I kind of panicked because first thing I thought of is isopropyl alcohol is flammable. And anyway, I grabbed my paper towels and started mopping it up, and you notice my sign there on the bottom, it's all kind of wrinkly. Well, it got soaked. I'm guessing, maybe, I'd say about 4 ounces at least. It completely flooded the bottom of that thing. Well, I guess the only thing good I can say is, I can say a lot of good things. I didn't spill it on top of the deck here, the shelter deck. Remind me to tell you something after about spilling stuff. Anyway, so I didn't spill it this way, I spilled it that way. The other good thing is that it's a nice day and my windows are open already. So it's all aired out in here. I can't smell anything. I can't smell the Mr. Hobby thinner. I can't smell the isopropyl. Maybe I've lost my smelling ability. I don't know. I was wearing this for quite a while. I left it on. And a lot of crazy things happened. I misplaced my glasses that I was wearing for a while. In my panic, I ran off somewhere, I guess looking for more paper towels, put my glasses down somewhere, and they fell on the floor, and I couldn't find them for a while. Anyway, I'm giving you a whole bunch more information than you need here. I think we're ready now to try and paint the rest of this now. I don't know if I'm going to try to do it on camera or not. I'm all cleaned up here again and ready to go. But, yeah, that's what happened. Oh, I was going to tell you. So anyway, I'm kind of trying to relax a little bit here after this catastrophe, and I started reading my comments, and Tony mentions how he accidentally spilled some extra thin all over one of his models, and I thought, I checked the time that he made the comment, and it was ironic because it was about the time that I was trying to mop everything up here. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we'll get back to it. It is the next morning, and I think probably everything is as dried up as it's going to get here after yesterday's catastrophe. Now, one of the viewers had asked, could I measure the Mr. Color Leveling Thinner bottle? And I think I can do that. That's not rocket science. Okay, let's again give our dimensions in millimeters. And it's on 0. I would say if you were to call it 61 millimeters, you'd be pretty safe. Make sure the bottom is the same. Yeah, it's pretty close. Call it 61 millimeters in diameter. Now, before we pull our tape off here this morning, and there's no way we can go back, at least easily, without having to tape everything up again. Just want to make sure there are no glaring places that appear to have the, you know what I mean. I think we're okay here. Well, we'll soon know. Now, first thing this morning, I set my white balance back to manual. In other words, I've got it set to 5,000 Kelvin, which is what I think these lights are. So this should look green, this should look blue, this should look yellow, my hand should look some sort of pink. And anyway, let's see what happens here. By the way, this when I peeled that off, that was the first time. So far, so good. I'll try and do it so you can see it. It's like a box opening, isn't it? Need a pair of tweezers here. Now the back half should go pretty easy because it's just got that plastic bag wrapped over it. You want to be careful not to scratch the plastic here. Okay, I do believe we got it there. Oh my, I'm seeing a problem. There was, oh no, I was seeing that yellow coming through there, and one of the viewers was suggesting that possibly all that paint that I was flooding on there was going to dissolve the gum on the masking tape, and when I saw this right here, I thought, oh no, it did. But I realized now I'm seeing masking tape through there. Okay, and let's try not to scratch our deck tan. Very gently here. How am I going to catch that? You know what? I think maybe for some of these I'm going to have to put on my magnification hood and just move right in. Let's get the rest of it off here. Okay, it's sticking to my blue cloth here, or my blue plastic that I used to keep the spray off of the green cloth. Okay. Let's clean some of this up here and we'll have a good look. Okay, I rearranged myself just a little bit here. Grab hold of here. Is there any other big ones? See, I'm afraid if I scrape along, I'm going to scrape the paint off. So I should maybe be being just a little bit more careful here. I'm going to try and maybe I should take my sharp hobby knife and just sort of hook in like this. Yeah, I better put on my magnification hood and get in nice and close, and maybe try, instead of doing everything all at once, I will try to do individuals. Let's start at this one right here. Now here's where it went wrong on me again, but at least this time I don't have to have my windows open for 5 hours, and I don't have to use up a couple of rolls of paper towels. What happened was I forgot to push record on the camera that had the macro lens. So I'm just sort of sitting there basically talking to myself, thinking that I'm showing you a whole lot of really nice close-ups of me removing the tape from around the boxes, when in fact I wasn't. But I do eventually get my act together. So, yeah, in the meantime, we'll just fast forward through a whole bunch of stuff here. Now, there's one thing that was recommended to me, and that was to take my sharp, brand new number 11 blade here and just go along the edges and make sort of a cut just in case when I peel the tape off, it's gonna break, make an uneven edge, in other words. I was kind of wondering about that before too, but I was noticing on one of the other places where the tape did pull away, I'm not seeing a problem. So because I'm so unsteady here, I think the best thing for me to do is to just try and pull these. Well, I just discovered that the big camera was not on for most of this. when I did this whole area up here, the big camera wasn't running. So we missed out on the removal of all the little pieces of tape around that, but there's enough left that you'll get the idea. But you will have missed all the places where I was talking about where there appeared to be damage to the deck tan. Hey, was this the place where I was supposed to extend out with the liquid mask? Well, let's take it off and it doesn't look too bad. Now I lost my hobby knife. Yeah, it was under the shelter deck. Okay. It was sheltered. Oh, I see a little bit of gray that got on there. That's the first place I've noticed, though. Okay, so what I was talking about, let's see if this is, make sure this is centered here. Okay, what I was talking about earlier when the camera wasn't running and I was talking to myself, well, so what else is new? And you see here where I guess where the deck tan had run down, and it just sort of, I don't know if it dissolved the gum on the tape that, like that viewer said, or if it's just a case of it was so thick. I don't know. But I was talking about how it almost looks like weathering, so it might not be a problem. Okay, I do believe that's all the ones that are on the where the deck tan is. Now, are we going to be able to see the contrast between the light gray and the dark gray? Or is it just going to plain not show up? Well, no use damaging this any worse than it already is here. No, that later gray does sort of show up, doesn't it? Oh, 3 more to go here. Now you notice I rubbed it and I scratched it right there? However, before we're through here and get all these little pieces that have to go on there, yeah, we're going to probably have a lot of damage. Now, am I going to have to readjust the camera, or can we... Oh no, I can get it in. One to go. That's it. That was the last one. Okay, let's back off a little bit with the camera and kind of look straight down on it if we can. I want to start out by saying here that I had no idea until I started editing out those last few scenes how much time I had spent taking all those little pieces off. And anyway, what I'm trying to do here is be able to superimpose up at the top there what the manual, or the diagram rather, the painting scheme shows that this is supposed to look like. Now, do you remember we were talking about where we should have used the liquid mask? I believe it was supposed to be right there. You can't even see that. You know, even if you're watching on a 65-inch 4K TV, you're not going to be able to see that. But we could see it when we were looking at it. I'm not going to even try to fix it because right now I can barely see it. Anyway, we've got to wrap this video up. It's what, 34 minutes maybe? I don't know. Anyway, way too long. Now, you can see these boxes. There is a difference. You can notice that the lighter gray to the darker gray, that was my intention. And little places like right here, you should be able to see that. I'll touch that up. Maybe some of the real bad places where the deck tan was sort of, I don't know, smooshed almost. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, I might try and touch that up. However, we've got to say bye for now. So bye for now, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.